Welcome to Scribo Learning Life. We all know that the magic in a classroom happens when a student finally finds their voice. But getting there takes a special kind of support. Today we're heading to the shores of Lake Taupō to meet two incredible educators from Taupō Primary School. Zach and Jenny have been exploring how Scribo acts as a digital coach for their writers, providing that critical, real-time feedback that keeps engagement high. They've been kind enough to share their honest experiences, challenges and wins. Here is Zach and Jenny's story of growth.
Welcome everyone. My name is Selena Hinchko and I'm one of the team bringing Scribo to New Zealand classrooms. Scribo is our new Ministry of Education funded online writing acceleration tool. It's for years 6 to 10 learners and for their teachers. And today I've got the pleasure of talking with two experienced teachers from Taupō Primary School who have been using Scribo for some time. We will be focusing on their specific success story about how their school lifted writing progress in just 3 months. They didn't just try Scribo AI writing platform, they used it to solve a common problem in many schools, stagnant writing progress. Today we are with Jenny, who saw her reluctant writers suddenly demanding more writing time, and Zach, the principal, who watched the data for 2 months before making a strategic call to roll out Scribo across their entire primary school. So let's say hello to Jenny and Zach and hear about their fabulous story of progress. Morena.
Morena.
Kia ora, Selena.
So Zach, first a question for you. Many schools suffer from initiative fatigue. So you didn't jump straight in. You watched the Scribo trial in your school for 2 months. What were the specific indicators, whether in student work samples or in the data, that told you that Scribo could really help move the needle for your school-wide literacy targets?
To be fair, initially it wasn't about the data that told me and excited me about the journey that we'd just undertaken. It was obvious probably from week one?
Yeah.
Week one after the
Straight
kids
away.
got into Scribo, just that increased desire and want to get into it more. The ease of them being able to interact with the tool to support their writing, it was phenomenal. And the kids it hooked them in. And our school's vision is hooked on learning. And this tool, you could see it straight away. These kids were hooked into what it was. And we'd been using a online program or a digital program for years now. And it just didn't have it compared to this. Like
The engagement was immediate.
Yeah. So for me, from that leadership point of view, it's just walk into those classrooms, seeing these kids writing and then trying to get my attention to say, come and look what I'm doing. Look at this. In the last 10 minutes, I've improved it from this level, like 70% to 85% success for the task. It was just all over the class, everyone. And so you sit there and look at something like that and just think, if that's the engagement level we're getting, it's going to be good for the data. It's got to be good for the data. And so probably a month in, we started looking at whether kids were improving and seeing clearly that the content, the depth of what they're writing was getting better, until we got the end result of looking at the data from that 15 weeks roughly, and just been blown away.
Yeah.
Blown away, particularly in comparison to the classes that weren't using the tool. It's just exciting.
That's awesome.
I'm clearly excited about the tool.
And that came across, and I think that's really important to share that excitement. So Jenny, your story is unique because you had previously used generic AI tools like ChatGPT and Claude, and now you're using Scribo. Can you explain the difference in student outcomes when with Scribo, students get specific feedback mapped to their writing needs versus a generic AI tool or your own teacher red pen corrections?
Yeah, sure. Straight away, when we were using Claude and ChatGPT, et cetera, it was only teachers that could use that tool. The students couldn't use it themselves to get that instant feedback that they craved from the program. What we're getting out was great, but then we still had to be communicating that with the kids versus the red pen marking the books. most teachers mark away, because by the time they get into year 6 or 5 or 6, the expectations for writing performance, of course, is that they're writing at least 250 words. So nobody is sitting next to their child anymore and being able to conference in the way that we're used to, even in small groups. Kids want to know their feedback these days. They are not interested in what the group's doing. So the thing that really hooked me in straight away, and I'd forgotten what Zach said about the gamification aspect, the boys particularly were just hooked by that instant, oh, if you put in paragraphs, my score's going to go up. But for me, the instant feedback for the kids was golden. Whether it was my top learners, my higher achieving kids where they could get that instant feedback, whether it was my lower achieving kids where they had Claro offering them suggestions and helping them fix their work, no one had to wait anymore. There was no dead time with the kids sitting there waiting for us to get timely feedback. And that straight away was absolute gold. Yeah,
I just want to comment on a part that you talked about. Within the visible learning research, it's really clear that feedback needs to be just in time and just for me. And that's exactly what you've described Scribo is able to provide, isn't it?
Well, whenever I'm talking to teachers or colleagues or other professionals about Scribo, I say it's as though every single child has their own teacher aide sitting next to them. So it doesn't replace quality teaching. We're still teaching sentence types. We're still teaching what a good paragraph is, what goes into it, how you tie in your ideas. But once they're writing, every single kid has got their own teacher aide. It's really amazing. And it was amazing, like Zach said, from day one, the kids were going, oh yes, sir. Yeah. And off they went. It was really good.
And so how did that personalised and immediate feedback change each student's actual writing quality of their work?
So Zach and I are unique because we both have our own children with diverse learning needs. So my son, heavily dyslexic. So when he was at school, he was really heavily reliant on an adult to sit with him and talk about, wade through his spelling and whatnot. Scribo instantly has taken away that emphasis on surface features. So we all know that our diverse thinkers are the ones with the lovely creativity and the amazing ideas and what have you. By taking away that emphasis on surface features and saying, don't worry, guys, I've got this as me helping you. All of a sudden, these guys were free to just concentrate on the amazing content of their writing. And for those boys, specifically my boys, it was liberating. They just could not wait to get in. And like when Scribo was introduced to us, the people introducing it said, you will find that your writers come in, your people come in and say, can we get on with our writing? And I went, oh yeah, okay, righto. But within 2 days, my reluctant writers were coming and saying, can I get my writing out? And I just was going, what?
During golden time. You're like, you get your golden time at the end of the week.
Yeah.
And you walk in, what are they doing for golden time? Oh, they've got Scribo out. They're carrying on with their writing pieces. It's just...
Yeah. I actually took a photo of my class, and it was about 20 to 9, and they're all sitting there on their computers writing. And I've never seen that before in my life. It's absolutely very, very powerful.
So originally you focused on using Scribo as a Tier 2 intervention for your lower achiever writers, as well as a tool to support your dyslexic and your neurodiverse learners. So what did Scribo look like for them, and what are you seeing with their achievement that maybe you haven't seen with traditional methods you've used in writing?
So any teacher will tell you that the torture of trying to teach punctuation is so I'm saying this for all learners. So I think I've probably nailed off the diverse learners aspect, but all students suddenly saw the value of a comma or a full stop or whatever. And one of my boys said, he was just an average learner, but he said, I'm not sure I'm going to like this. I think it's telling me how to do too much. And I thought that's really interesting. But as the year went on, as the trial went on, and then we purchased it, and so he was able to keep going with it. By the time we got to the PATs, where they didn't have access to that, to Scribo, they weren't using that, his achievement, he had taken on board all of those tools. Everything that Scribo had taught him, he was able to apply to his writing. And so in that way, all kids were benefiting from it. And we know this, that what's good for a dyslexic child is good for everybody. What's good for Māori is good for everybody. And so that is right there in a nutshell what that unrolled.
So Zach, you've now got a broader bird's eye view of the writing results in your school. How has having that instant data and knowing exactly which students need extensions or which ones need a boost or an intervention plan changed the way that your staff collaborate? Is it changing the literacy conversations, for example, in your staff room?
It's definitely changing conversations. There's a term that my DP used, a FOMO, and because we put an offer out who would like to do this trial, and a couple of people put their hand up, and by the end of it, the other teachers were just champing at the bit to be part of it. They knew and they could see it. They could see that these other kids in the spaces were actually deeper into writing and having more effective writing results and writing pieces of writing. So the conversations have been changed, and it wasn't a hard sell when we said, hey, should we roll this out 4 to 6? And there was no pushback from the leaders or towards the leaders. Having that instant diagnostic data, I haven't really needed to dabble into that because you could just see it in the classrooms. You could see that the teachers that were involved in it were straight away taking on what Scribo had been telling them. And we just let the tool be the tool mostly.
Yeah.
And to have seen some of the new things or things that we know Scribo can do, that's just a whole nother level of excitement of how it's going to impact the planning and the journey and the learning that goes in behind what the kids are learning.
Which takes us nicely back to you, Jenny, because one of your favourite outcomes, I hear, has been using the data to inform your teaching and using Claro and AI to support that.
Absolutely. So putting into the Claro Foresight prompts like using the piece of writing from Tuesday, identify the 5 children in my class who need further work on complex sentences. And then, so it'll tell me who those 5 children are, what they've done well, what they need to do better in. And I can even say something like, provide me with a 2-week plan on how I should progress these children. And then and that's against the New Zealand curriculum, which is really valuable because some programs are not against the New Zealand curriculum. So the Scribo staff have been remarkable in loading up those things for us and just working alongside us every part of the way.
So another question for you, Jenny. A really unique part of Scribo and a unique part of your journey has been using the Vision Photo Upload feature. So this is the feature in Scribo that allows teachers or learners to take a photo of their handwritten work, which Scribo's own AI then converts into a digital format, so that students' writing can be marked and feedback can be given. How did this allow you to maintain your standards for things like handwriting, but also getting the writing acceleration you were after?
Hand on heart, the Scribo Vision is new to me. I haven't used it a lot, but the tool itself is so intuitive. So I took a piece of work up. It is so easy to use.
We can see real scope for those kids that haven't yet got to a keyboard or to a screen, still being able to utilise the tool to support the teachers in their writing programs.
And the other part of that, of course, is that they've got their iPads. They'll be taking the photos and uploading it to Scribo. That we've got them email addresses so that they'll be able to log in and put it in and thereby use their headphones to read their feedback. So it's a very powerful tool.
We tried to do a similar thing with the generic AI models online using photos.
Yeah.
And it was clunky and hard and ineffective and time consuming.
And still teacher driven. We were the ones at night doing all of that mahi. What is the point of that? So we want the kids having ownership of this, and that's what Scribo gives to them.
So to wrap us up, Zach, for other principals who are looking to see a genuine lift in school-wide writing achievement, how would you describe overall the impact of Scribo at Taupō Primary School?
It's an outstanding tool for raising achievement. It's a one-stop shop, but it doesn't replace the need for quality teaching. It doesn't tell you what to do, when to do, and how to do it like some other things have in the past, where you get stuck in a rut. It's a tool that can be used in every classroom to give a boutique writing program that's so responsive to the needs of the kids in that space in an instant. I couldn't brag more highly about it. And the simplicity of implementing it and the not needing to have days and days of PD to really get stuck in and see effects, it's just been great. I look forward to seeing the whole senior school get the same results as we did last year.
And so, Jenny, what's the best win story from a student experience that still makes you smile when you think about Scribo?
Oh, boy, how many? There are just so many of them. I'm thinking of young Michael. He just could not wait to he was one of the guys who was saying, oh, I don't know what to write, don't know what to write, don't want to write. No, I'm not doing that. No, blah, blah, blah. And then every day, can I keep going with my writing? Can you set me up with a free write so that I can just do my own story? And it's like, yes, yes, we can. So just getting those boys who have been reluctant all of their lives because all of those surface features just killed them. Their handwriting was illegible. The text-to-talk tool.
That's a mouthful.
The text-to-talk tool is so intuitive. It's so powerful that when the students are talking into it, it always picks up what they're saying. And so all of those surface things that have really stood in the way of quality writing were taken away from them, and it's just the freedom that it's given those diverse learners to achieve right alongside their peers. That's a success story. That's funny because I've already got I've been raving about Scribo months, and so I've already got friends, colleagues from out of town texting me and saying, you know that thing that was on the news, is that what you've been telling us about? I said, yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
This fabulous story of impact at Taupō Primary School isn't just about new software. It's about a school finding a way to accelerate their learners' writing through self-directed learning and helping teachers to maximise teaching with stronger insights into their learners' needs and progress. If you want to chat more about the impact of Scribo, or even visit Jenny's classroom to see a live version of Scribo in action, please get in touch with us here at Scribo and Ed Connect. Thank you for sharing your story with us today, Zach and Jenny. Ka kite.
It's stories like Zach and Jenny's that remind us why we do what we do. Seeing that spark of confidence in a student, knowing they have the tools to self-correct and grow, that's the real win. If you're ready to see how Scribo can become the digital assistant in your classroom, we'd love to help you start your own story of growth. Huge thanks to the team at Taupō Primary School for sharing their story.